Most of us think that leaving a legacy is all about giving away our wealth. But what if I told you that the most common way of passing on money is actually the most destructive? What if a true legacy isn't about handouts at all, but about creating opportunity? Let's dive into how you can build wealth that really, truly lasts. This quote right here from the financial advisors at Opus Trust, it just cuts right to the heart of the problem, doesn't it? We all have the best intentions, but this forces us to stop and ask a tough question. Is our generosity accidentally doing more harm than good? Okay, so let's unpack that a little bit. Why on earth would free money ever be a problem? Well, this is where we have to reframe the whole conversation. Think about it. Unearned wealth, it's not really a gift, is it? It can become a burden. Psychologically, it can just suck the purpose right out of you, that drive to go out and conquer challenges. It can weaken your discipline and quietly chip away at the very ambition that built the wealth in the first place. And this illustrates a cycle that is just all too common. We've all seen it, right? The estate gets settled, the assets are handed out, and boom, within a generation or two, the wealth is gone. But notice that on the right. There's a hint of a different model, a much better way to think about all of this. And that different model is what Opus Trust calls the family bank. It's a strategy designed to completely flip that traditional inheritance model on its head. So what is this thing exactly? It's so important to get this. It is not just a bank account or some off-the-shelf product. It's a deliberately designed wealth vehicle. The keywords here are protect, deploy, and purpose. It is all about being strategic. And the really cool thing is, this strategy is flexible. It is not a one-size-fits-all solution at all. Depending on what a family is trying to achieve, it could be a trust, which has a legal setup for managing assets. It could be an LLC, a business structure, or even a mix of different legal entities. The point is, the form follows the function. So, what's inside this private vault, so to speak? Well, we're not talking about a pile of cash just sitting there collecting dust. A family bank holds productive assets, things like investment portfolios, properties, actual operating businesses, and this is key, cash reserves that are specifically set aside to fund new opportunities. The capital is always working. And this right here, this brings us to the single most important shift in mindset. The whole point of the family bank is to provide structured access to capital, not just cash handouts. This is the crucial point, the fundamental change. It moves the next generation from a position of entitlement to one of opportunity. See the difference? They don't just get wealth, they get a chance to build it themselves, with the family's resources backing them up. So, how does this actually play out in the real world? Well, it's a professional process, a lot like a traditional bank. First, a family member who has a great business idea or an investment opportunity, they submit a formal application. Next, that request goes through due diligence. It gets properly vetted to see if it's viable and what the risks are. Then, if he gets the green light, the loan is financed by the family bank. And finally, and this is so important, the loan repayments flow back into the bank, which makes it even stronger for the next generation. And the results of doing it this way? They're profound. You end up building all the character traits you'd hope to pass on, right? Responsibility, a true sense of ownership, and real-world financial literacy. It creates genuine pride and independence because the success is 100% earned. Now, this all sounds great in theory, but let's look at a really powerful, real-world example of how an inheritance can be earned, not just handed over. So this story starts with this incredible quote from a client's daughter. Can you imagine? She understood instinctively that a handout would actually diminish her own potential. What a powerful way to start. So one day, she finds this massive opportunity, a 150-unit apartment building being sold for a bargain, way below its market value. This was it. This was her chance to build something really significant for herself. But then she hit a wall, a big one. The traditional banks, they all turned her down. Her credit just wasn't strong enough on its own, and this amazing opportunity was about to slip right through her fingers. And this is where the family bank made all the difference. It did what the traditional banks wouldn't. It stepped in, acted as the financier, and provided the capital she needed, secured against the property itself. But here's the kicker. This was not a gift. She worked her tail off, and over the course of 7 years, she repaid the entire loan with interest back to the family bank. And the result? It is the perfect win-win. Today, she owns a valuable asset that she built with her own two hands. And the family's capital? It came back to the bank, even stronger than before, ready to fund the next generation's great idea. Now that is how generational wealth is supposed to work. So when you zoom out, you can really see how this strategy isn't just about shuffling money around. It's about building a legacy that is fundamentally stronger and full of more capable people. Instead of creating a culture of consumption, this system fosters a culture of contribution. The outcomes you see are self-reliant kids, confident grandkids, and entire generations of people who are business-minded and ready to take on the world. And that brings us right back to this core philosophy from Obeys Trust, which is absolutely worth hearing again. Free money is the most expensive money a family can give. Access to capital is the most valuable gift a family can leave. I mean, that just says it all, doesn't it? So, as we wrap this up, it really leaves us with one critical question to think about. Will your wealth be a burden that just gets consumed over time, or will it be a powerful tool that creates generations of opportunity? What kind of legacy will you create?